Yes, YouTube, how you doing? In this episode today, right now, we are going to bring you the best fullbacks of the year 2026, 10 years into the future. So if you're in the market for a fullback, for one of those sort of wide defenders, you can have a look and see who you should be buying, who you should be snapping up and laying your hands on, ready for the future. So let's go and have a look. So first up on our list then for the top 5 fullbacks in the year 2026 is Alex Grimaldo. Now this guy, he will start off his career on FM17 at Benfica. And in this, he moved to West Ham for a fee of £30.5 million in the year 2021, and then on to Paris Saint-Germain for £33.5 million in the year 2024. He's made a total of 405 appearances, which is quite a lot in his career, and he's picked up in that time an average rating of 7.41. Now, for me, an average rating of anything over 7.0 and you're more or less a first-team player. So to get an average rating, as I say, in a total of 405 games of 7.41, that is an absolutely phenomenal average rating. Now, let's have a quick look at him and see where he's best suited to. So he does play fullback because that's obviously what we're covering for the video. His best role and duty is a fullback on defend. And for that, he picks up one of those full green circles, which, as you know, I really love to see in a player. I really hate playing players who do not have that full circle, but still. Wage demands around about £245,000 a week. He is 30 years old right now, so at game start, he'll be about the 20 mark. He's made 71 appearances for Spain, and he's got an estimated value these days of about £20 million. He is left-footed, which does help in that left fullback role. And let's just have a quick look at his attributes. So, technical attributes, the ones that he needs for that role, are marking and tackling. So he has 13 for marking and 16 for tackling. Mental stats, 16 for anticipation and 15 for concentration, 14 for positioning and 13 for teamwork. So he's got some quite good mental stats too. Now, his physicals, he just needs the acceleration and the stamina to play that role. Acceleration, he has 16, and stamina, he has 15, so he is well above average in those stats too. So, as an all-round player, Alex Grimaldo, should you get him, you should probably get him. And if you are looking for a new fullback, you should probably expect to pay about the £30 million mark for this guy. So no more, no less. Both of his transfers have been for around about that figure. So if you are in the market for a fullback and you do have that money available, if Alex Grimaldo is on the list or you can pick him up for that kind of amount, go for it. So next up on the list then, at number 4 is Benjamin Henrichs. Now, Benjamin Henrichs is a German player. He starts off at Leverkusen, and in this save, he moved to Manchester United for a fee of £38 million. Not much else to give you in terms of transfer news on him and what you should be expecting to pay, because he has only made that one transfer in this save. So, in that time, he has made 287 league appearances and picked up an average rating of 7.16. So, in terms of average rating, again, pretty good. Not quite as good as Grimaldo, who was in at number 5 on the list. So, in terms of value for money, Grimaldo might be the guy that you need to look for. Saying that, though, Henrichs does play right back, whereas Grimaldo did play on the left. So, two totally opposite sides of the pitch. If you do need a right fullback, Henrichs could probably be your guy. If you are just generally looking for a fullback overall, then Grimaldo's probably your man. So, role and duty then. So, Henrichs, he plays a wing-back role on defend, and for that, he needs the attributes of crossing, marking, passing, and tackling in the technical department. He needs attributes of concentration, decisions, positioning, teamwork, and work rate in the mental side of things. And for physicals, he just requires stamina. Now, his stamina is 15, and if we have a look at the mentals again, concentration is 13, decisions is 14, positioning is 13, teamwork is 15, and work rate is 15 too. So some pretty sort of above average sort of mental stats there. Now his technicals, crossing of 10, which is bang average. No more, no less for that. His marking is 12, passing is 14, and tackling is 14. So nothing too stand out-ish, nothing which really jumps at you and say, hey, sign me please. Saying that he does have 75 caps for Germany and 3 goals for them in that time. He is 29 years old, so around about game start, you're looking at about a 19-year-old player. Valued at 23 million on this at the moment, and he's picking up a wage of about £300,000 a week. Player traits wise, he dictates the tempo, tries to play his way out of trouble, and likes to switch the ball to the other flank. Personality spirited, so if you do have a spirited squad, he might fit right in. Other than that, I mean, to me, for the money, doesn't really look worth the purchase. I may be completely wrong, and in your saves, he may be an absolute world beater. So let me know if he has performed really, really well. Other than that, if it was down to me and I was just looking for a fullback in general, I would probably take Grimaldo, but that's just me. In at number 3, then we have Diogo and Dalot. And Dalot is another right back, so that's the second right back in this list for you so far. He plays a fullback on defend role. Now for that he needs marking, which he has 13. He needs tackling, which he has 14. Mental wise, anticipation of 17, concentration of 14. Positioning 15, teamwork 12, and his physicals he requires acceleration and stamina, of which he has 15 and 16 accordingly. Personality is spirited again, he is right-footed only, and a wage demand of around about sort of £97,000 a week. So 27 years old, which means at game start he's going to be about 17. Valuation of around about £23.5 million. Now, in terms of transfer news, what you can expect to pay for him. So he starts off at Porto, and he's had a couple of loan moves in that time, one of them being to Olympic Lyon for £425,000. He did move to Everton for a fee of £39.5 million, and then on to Bayern Munich for £26 million. So as a first purchase, if you are looking to purchase him away from Porto, you should probably expect to pay around about £39 to £40 million in the year 2021. If it's before that, and if you can snap him up a little bit younger, you might get him for cheaper. So if you have, let us know, and do let us know what we should be expecting to pay for him, like right at the start of the game. But this is how he develops, this is what he turns into, and 42 caps for Portugal as well. So overall then, 312 league appearances and an average rating of 7.02. So nothing out of this world amazing, but still above average rating overall. So I do like anyone over a 7. So if you can get him, and you can get him for cheaper than that £39.5 million, then I would say probably go for it. Right then, so in at number 2 on our list of fullbacks for the year 2026 is Giuseppe Pezzella. Now, Giuseppe Pezzella, he starts off at Palermo, and in this you can see he moved and had his first transfer of £8 million to Wolverhampton in the year 2019-2020. He did then move to Arsenal for a fee of £25 million, and then finally on to Paris Saint-Germain for a fee of £15.25 million in the year 2024. He's made a total of 240 league appearances and picked up an average rating of 6.67. So, for me, his average rating is pretty poor, and nothing compared to the other guys that we've shown you on this list. But, I mean, he might perform a little bit better for you. If he has, and you have picked this guy up, please let us know how he's performed, and if he has indeed performed better than that 6.67 average rating. Now, what you could do with this guy right here with Giuseppe Pezzella is you could potentially use him as a stepping stone to a better fullback for you. Now, a lot of players do like to use a club as a stepping stone. This could be a potential reverse situation, because for me, £8 million for a first team player is not a lot of money to fork out, especially if you're in the Premier League, which Wolverhampton were at the time of purchase. Now, looking at that future fee of £25 million there, you are looking at making around about £17 million profit on him in that period there. I mean, Wolves made £17 million profit right there. So, in theory, you could potentially pick him up for around about £8 million and then make a fair chunk selling him on. So, that's probably what I would do. Looking at his average rating there, that is what I would use this guy for, as a stopgap for a few seasons and then sell on for a bigger fee than what you paid for him. Right, so what's his best role and duty and stuff? Let's have a look for you. So he plays as a defensive fullback on the defend role. So if you are looking for somebody to fulfill that position and somebody who is also a left back, then Giuseppe Pezzella may be the purchase for you. Now, looking at this quickly, he has made 7 appearances for Italy. He's on a very, very minimal £62,000 a week. So wage demands and stuff, he shouldn't be sort of demanding too much from you. 28 years old, so at game start he's going to be about 18, and is an estimated value there of £24.5 million. So, like I say, could well be the answer to make a sort of a quick bit of money for you. Now, attribute-wise, his technicals that he requires is marking and tackling, of which he has 12 and 13, so just above average, nothing out of this world. Mentals, he requires concentration, determination, positioning, and teamwork. concentration is 15, determination is 17. So his determination is actually quite high. Positioning of 15 and teamwork of 12. His physicals that he needs is 15 for stamina, and he's got 16 for strength. A resilient personality, and his preferred foot is his left foot, which again is pretty decent for a right back. Right now, currently, he's wanted by Everton, so you may even find that he moves on again. So, recommendation-wise, I would probably use this guy to make a quick bit of money. I don't see him as a potential sort of permanent first-team player for you. I would look at probably another fullback who plays on that left-hand side and literally just use this guy to make a quick bit of money over the space of a couple of seasons. So, Giuseppe Pezzella, there you go. Right, so number 1 on our best fullbacks list in the year 2026 then is Felix Passlack. Now, I'm pretty sure we have already featured Felix Passlack in this video series, and I think he'll probably feature once more too. So, Felix Passlack then, who is he, what does he do? Right, so Felix Passlack, he spent the first part of his career at Dortmund. On this save, he then moved to Liverpool for a fee of £66 million, and then on to Paris Saint-Germain for £61 million. So fee-wise, you're probably looking at paying about £60 to £65 million for him. Pretty extortionate if you ask me, especially when you consider he has an average rating of only 6.8 in 265 league appearances. Now, that average rating might have something to do with the fact that the AI may have played him out of position. The AI may well have played him in a role completely unsuitable for him. I don't know how the AI has played him. So, in the fullback role, he does prefer to defend. So, fullback defend. He is right-footed, which is great for a right-sided fullback. Resolute personality, so again, he does have a very favourable personality. The media describe him as an attacking fullback. Player traits, he gets forward whenever possible. He plays short, simple passes, he places shots, and he knocks the ball past the opponent, which is probably good to have down that right-hand side, especially when you consider he's got an acceleration of 15 and pace of 14 as well. Stamina, he does have some good stamina rating of 15. Mental-wise, anticipation of 13 and concentration of 13, positioning of 12 and teamwork of 12, which doesn't really take into account the rest of his mental stats, which are very, very good by the first look of things. Attribute-wise for technicals, he has marking of 12 and tackling of 12. So Felix Passlack, should you get him? I would say it's one of those ones where he's either going to be great for you or probably very, very bad. Average rating of 6.8 over those sort of 200 or so games that he's played, 265. Doesn't really strike me as fantastic, but he may well prove everybody wrong and become an absolute world beater. But he's played 2 international games just here in this season, an average rating of 7.5 between those two. Wage demands of around about £275,000 a week and a current valuation of 38 million. So yeah, I mean, he may well be okay. He may be a good sort of signing. So if you have signed him, let us know. Let us know how he gets on and what he's done for you. So there we go. That is our sort of top 5 fullbacks of the year 2026. If you have signed any of them, do let us know how they are. If you haven't, and you are potentially sort of thinking about signing them, let us know too. Also, if you haven't already sort of liked the video, go ahead and do it. Thank you very much. It does help the channel. And not only that, but if you haven't subs yet, go and do that too. I do stream on Twitch as well, so get yourself over there. Also, I know I'm throwing a lot of demands at you right now, but it'll be worth it in the long run, trust me. And join us again for another video very, very soon. So once again, thank you for watching, and see you soon.